Peace, it's Equality Fragrances. Welcome to my cipher. A cipher is a person, place, a thing within my circumference. The understanding of my cipher is peace. For all those new to the channel and those who have been supporting me since day one, I humbly appreciate all your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified when I drop some new videos. All of that goes a long way in helping the channel grow, and it costs you nothing. If you have any questions for me or any concerns, don't forget to hit my IG, send me a message. A link will be in the description, but be sure you are following me. When you send me a message, the first thing I'm gonna do is see if you're following me. If you're not, I'm just gonna delete the message. It is an etiquette thing. Don't take it personal. With that being said, come on in, sit down, and let's build. Today, I'll be doing a tag video, which I was tagged by my guy, Sam Bloom Fragrances. I will leave a link to that video in the description. Check him out, give him a follow. Anyway, he tagged me to do a video on my 5 Hall of Fame fragrances within my collection. So as I was going through it, and I want to say, ooh, I haven't really talked about this, let me throw this in there. It's really not a Hall of Fame fragrance in my most humble opinion, but I was able to come up with 5 within my collection that I will be discussing today. So with that being said, I'm gonna try not to take up too much time. I'm gonna try to make it quick. Let's start the tag video. Fragrance number 1 is an absolute classic and a guaranteed versatile scent. This was one of the first Fougere scents to ever be released. Now, of course, the 2010 version, which most people have, isn't the original formulation, but nonetheless, this house was the first to come out with Fougere fragrances. If I'm wrong, leave a comment down below and correct me. I'm okay with taking correction. Anyway, that's from the house of Houbigant, and that's Fougere Royale. As I said in the video before, every man has a nice pair of dress shoes, a tailored suit, a watch, and they have Houbigant Fougere Royale. Now, I'm not much of a Fougere kind of guy, something I reach for all the time, but when I want to be masculine, I want to be assertive, I want to smell like money, and I want to be taken serious, this is a outstanding fragrance. It is the quintessential barbershop fragrance. For those who might not know what barbershop fragrances is, if you ever had your hair cut and they put that little like alcohol on your face, it gives you that barbershop feel. That's what this is. It's aromatic, it's spicy, it's green, has that juicy bergamot up top, and of course it has oak moss and tonka bean in the base. Outstanding fragrance. Good. Now, longevity wise, I get about 4.5 hours, maybe 5 if I kind of push it, depending on the weather. But overall, this can be worn dressed up. It can be worn casually. When you want to smell like a mature man and you don't want nobody to mistake who walked through here when they smell you, this is a easy fragrance to reach for. It is extremely versatile from work to a date, depending on if you're dating girls or mature women. Anyway, my number 1 fragrance I'll be talking about that's Hall of Fame is Fougere Royale by Houbigant. The next fragrance I'll be discussing I consider a masterpiece. Another fragrance I think every man should inevitably have within their collection, especially a man with a career. Not a job, but a career. And that's no knock at job people before I get job people going. Listen, as a man, do what you gotta do to provide for your family and make your money. But I'm talking about when you have this and people smell you, they gonna know you are a man who has their life together. You're just gonna smell that way, whether you have it or not. Listen, if you ain't faking it till you make it, do it. Anyway, that's from the house of Hermes, and that's Terre de Hermes. This the EDT version, I preferred. What can I say about this classic men perfumery? It has that bitter orange, a little peppery, a little spicy, very woody, almost soily earthy, which could be coming from the patchouli. You have that vetiver, you have that nice cedarwood note. This can be worn any season, anywhere. I do not care what the situation holds. This is just a great all-around fragrance. You can wear this to the office. I mean, you're going to a boardroom meeting, you're going golfing. I do not care, you can rock this. That's Terre de Hermes from Hermes. This next fragrance comes from a classic fragrance house. This fragrance house is known for reformulating their fragrances. It is my prediction in 10 to 15 years, this fragrance is rather going to be heavily reformulated or discontinued, and people will be like, I wish I had an original batch. The prices and the flip on this fragrance 10 to 15 years from now is going to be crazy. Yes, I know, Fragcom, it's overdone. It's on everybody's list, but it's deservingly so. This comes from the house of Chanel, and this Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Now, I'm be discussing a Parfum version. I have all three versions, but I will tell you which occasions I wear all three or how I wear them. So the EDT, I use that more for work. It's going to give you nice projection. It's clean. I get about 6 hours on that. Nothing, about 5-6 hours. Nothing too crazy. Pretty good projection. It's just a good, safe work scent or gym scent, right? When I want to garner the attention from a lot of women, so I'm at a bar, I'm at a concert, I'm at a club, I might be at an outdoor festival, whatever it is, especially in the spring, summertime, I'm reaching for the EDP because the scent trail and the composition, that is just absolutely amazing. But when I want to get the attention from one woman, when I want to capture her in my web of seduction, when I want to draw her in and be so alluring, I reach for the Parfum. You got that zestiness. It's aromatic. It's a little romantic due to the geranium to me, which comes off a little rosy. So I get this rosy, woody nuance in the composition, and the creamy woodiness comes from the sandalwood and the ISO-E Super. To me, the tonka bean is used as a light vanillic substitute. It's not a chocolatey tonka bean. It's not overly sweet or nutty. It's just a nice vanillic nuance to it. Absolutely amazing. When I'm going on a date, this is what I would reach for if I want to be safe. So that is Bleu de Chanel from Chanel, and the one I'm talking about is the Parfum. Next fragrance on the list, you know, if you follow me, I had to add an amber fragrance on this list. I've talked about this amber before. This is the amber which all amber fragrances are judged by. If you opened up the dictionary and it's something said amber fragrances, this is the fragrance that would be in the dictionary. This is the first amber to ever come out. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, correct me. This came out in 1988. This is a masterpiece of a fragrance. It's balsamic, resinous, sweet, a little spicy, slightly powdery. This is dense. This comes from the house of Maitre, Parfumeur, et Gantier. This is Ambre Precieux. Man, if you claim to love amber fragrances, you have to sample this. You have to sample this. Also, they have a new one called Ultime. I have a 5 ml decan of that. Because I have this, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a little redundant. You don't need it unless you want to have it just to say you have it. It's a little redundant. It has certain notes that's turned up, like I believe the Tonka and the Labdanum is a little turned up. It's a little bit more smoky. It's a little denser. And this is already dense, but it's just redundant to have both, in my most humble opinion. Now, if you don't have either one, I would probably tell you to get the most affordable one you can, or just go with the Ultime. I'm going to be honest, I would tell you to go that route. But other than that, this is an outstanding, warm, cozy fragrance, perfect for the cooler weather. I personally wouldn't wear this in warmer weather, but you can do whatever you want to do. Some of y'all live in states that warm weather is 12 months out the year. If you live in Florida, it is what it is. But definitely give this a try if you love ambers. Very nice amber, a masterpiece of a fragrance. That is Ambre Precieux from Maitre, Parfumeur, et Gantier. If you are talking about Hall of Fame fragrances, this fragrance has to be on the list unless you are a complete hater. There are whole fragrance houses that have been created that has cloned this fragrance. This is a money-making composition. When you matter in this world, you will be copied and imitated. Nobody takes from or copies somebody who's irrelevant. No one cares when you're irrelevant. When you are relevant, you will be copied. Some people will say it's overhyped composition. Not hardly overhyped. Why? Because it works. It might be overpriced. Know the difference between overpriced and overhyped. You can't own 5 clones of this and say it's overhyped. You bought 5 clones of the same damn thing. This needs no more introduction. It's the king to some. I don't call it the king because it's the best smelling fragrance of all time, but I call it the king because it's the most cloned. You cannot be cloned. Michael Jordan is the king of basketball. Why? Because every player after him has rather tried to copy him or was inspired by him. Why? Because he matters. This is Creed Aventus. Do I really need to say more? Does anything else need to be said about this fragrance? You have whole companies who do nothing but clone and batch variations of this fragrance. Now, let's talk about the downfall. This costs way too much. Unless you're in the fragrance group, you can get it for a good price. I wouldn't recommend paying retail for this. Batch variations. I think that is the goofiest nonsense of all time, which is why I don't care if they clone. I don't care about clone houses anyway. Do what you do. But it has way too many batch variations, which goes from ultra smoky to real fruity to a little bit more vanilla and fruits. Like, it's just all over the damn place. But this is pineapple, bergamot, some rose, some vanilla, some floral, some woodiness. Overall, listen, this is a 20-something batch in case anybody's interested. I'm getting about 7-8 hours on this consistently. So I heard some of the older batches don't really perform as well. I think it might be 18 or 19 batch. I don't know. I don't own that. I can't speak to that. I'm not a batch holder. You have to ask somebody who really know their batches. I'm not about to sit on the internet like I do. Anyway, not to talk about this fragrance anymore. Y'all know it. Sure, I can give you my 2 cents on the fragrance. Maybe a full review, but I don't think y'all need that. And this is Creed Aventus. So, that was my tag video from Sam Broom Fragrances on 5 Hall of Fame fragrances within your collection. Sam, I appreciate you tagging me. If any other reviewers watching this video and you want to get in on this tag, by all means do so. I'm not going to tag you. With that being said, thank you all for supporting me. Thank you all for taking the time out your day to watch this video. I'm going to leave you the way I greeted you, and that's in the universal language of peace.